Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are now engaged. Oh my God!
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I heard screams in my office. Like around the office, there was audible gasps and screams. I was just imagining every 20-something in corporate settings around the country had that shared experience, because then I saw it immediately all over TikTok. So we're going to dive into this whole thing. First of all, I just have to show some of these because I was laughing because, like I said, girls were screaming in our office, and then I started running to find what was going on. So there's a lot of this happening. It's just like, we're grown-ups until Taylor Swift, then it's like...
Please excuse the interruption, but if you see Mrs. DeWitt or Mr. Rourke running around all giddy and happy, they just found out that Travis Kelce has proposed to Taylor Swift, so they're going to need your support today.
I'd love to see the kids' reaction to that. They're probably like, no way. Oh, we're so unserious. Oh, gosh. Truly, like, we're adults until we're not. It's truly phenomenal, honestly. I was seeing a lot of girls being like, this is peak girlhood. And in a lot of ways, like, I do feel that, especially for those who are Taylor Swift fans. Now, I know that there are many of you watching this who are not, and who are like, red flag on Reagan's behalf just for even, like, giggling at these. So I wanted to share a video that you might relate to instead, for all of the non-Swifties out there.
What?
Taylor Swift got engaged.
Okay.
That's it?
Woo!
Hey, Chaz. Did you hear?
What?
Taylor Swift got engaged.
With who?
With who? That's so good. Like, knows nothing about it.
That,
Kelce.
okay. What do you want me to do about it?
What's up?
Taylor Swift got engaged.
Congratulations.
Hear what?
Travis Kelce got engaged.
What? No.
Well, last guy for you, dude.
No.
It's just so good. It's so accurate to, again, half of the country, if not more. Now, for those of you, probably those who just liked that last video, you're probably saying, why does this matter? Asking that question, which is a fair question. But what I want to dive into is that the fact that this woman is undoubtedly the most influential woman in the Western world, if not the globe. And her dating life specifically influences and affects the attitudes of millions of women around the world, for better or for worse. If you don't believe me, if you don't understand the true power, just think of this. Okay, Taylor Swift writes an incredible breakup song. And then as a result, you have millions of married, happy mothers screaming the lyrics about breaking up with their man, because that's what Taylor was doing. And there's always TikToks about that trend and jokes from women reminding themselves that they are in happy, healthy relationships after listening to a Taylor Swift song, because the lyrics and Taylor were always the opposite of that. So you'd have come, you have to turn off the song and be like, okay, well, I can actually relate to that because I'm in a happy, healthy relationship. Hence why it is so important that now a new chapter of the perpetual relationship queen is a good thing. Even the Tortured Poets Department, which is a great album, but as I was listening to it, I'm like, this is about like sadness and breakup and just bad men. And I listened to this, and then on my drive home, and then I come home to my wonderful husband, and I'm like, it's not meshing, and I don't think it's good to consume that. So now I'm hoping that there will be this new chapter of good songs as well, okay? So this is her post. Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married. And these are the photos. Precious. The ring is big and very glamorous, but honestly, it could have been even more annoyingly large. Apparently, the backstory to this was he was going to do some grand, crazy proposal, and then the dads of both him and Taylor were like, bro, just the grand gesture is you asking for her hand in marriage. It's not, you don't have to do some crazy elaborate whatever. So then apparently he scaled it back. So this is scaled back apparently, and this is just near their home area. So it's not any kind of crazy, although it still looks crazy and beautiful. He was going to do more, and he scaled it back because what was important was the ask. So that's wholesome. Also, he asked her dad for her hand in marriage. Wholesome, classic, traditional. Honestly, in these photos, it looks like Travis is all nicely clean shaven. He got all ready for this moment. If you have a big moment coming up and you need to get nicely clean shaven, you can use Jeremy's razors, because there's something incredibly attractive about a man who takes care of himself. Now, I'm not talking about one who spends 3 hours on skincare every morning. That's a red flag. But I am talking about a guy who shows up looking sharp, smelling good, with a clean shave that says, I've got my life together. Just like Travis is presenting in these photos. Jeremy's razors are built for real men, the kind who work hard all week and still show up looking like they mean business. And even if he has a beard, he still needs to clean up those edges, shape the neckline, and keep things looking intentional. Just ask my husband. A great beard isn't an excuse to stop caring. It's actually another reason to use the right tools, as evidenced, again, by him. Jeremy's razors gives that perfect shave that says he's confident, capable, and worth your attention. So ladies, for either yourself or your man, and guys, if you're watching, you can just go to jeremy'srazors.com/Reagan, and you can try it out for just $7.99. That's jeremy'srazors.com/Reagan today. All right, Back to the pictures and the responses that unfolded online. And honestly, for the most part, the internet was overall happy. At least the top comments, the top conversations were not negative. You can't hate. Even if you're not a Taylor Swift fan or a Travis Kelce fan, it's just like subjectively a good thing. Can't believe we got Travis Swift before GTA 6. Finally, Taylor Swift will stop singing. A lot of people who are haters were like, well, at least she won't sing anymore. She'll be busy in married life, which, I don't think is true at all, but at least it got them celebrating. Taylor can retire now since Kelsey's a millionaire. Yes. Everyone was talking about the prenup. Like, that prenup's gonna be crazy. I think he's worth like 90 million and then she's worth like $1 billion. iHeartRadio posted and said, Taylor and Travis are engaged and you expect me to work? The royal wedding is in the works and you expect me to circle back on an email? I mean, that was literally everyone who was just obsessed with Taylor Swift. Like, I'm sorry, let us have this moment. Everyone was talking about the fact that this is essentially our version of the royal wedding. This is the closest thing we're getting to an American royal wedding. Yeah, it is. Again, so classic. The football player and like the pop star. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. We all grew up listening to her music. Music distinctly authored by her, intimately talking about her dating experiences. And thus, we use that music as the soundtrack to all of our dating experiences as we grew up. And I think that's why so many of us have this like connection and also have been just rooting for her success because we've heard all the heartbreak. And finally, nearly 2 decades after she started music, at 35 years old, 2 years after they started dating, she is committing to one man. A masculine, burly, all-American football player. It's funny, honestly, because the football player from one of her early hits ends up being the one that she wanted all along. There's a lot of just serendipity and also kind of like haha moments in this. You'll do more than dating the man on the football team. The classic, like her first hit, obviously did a lot more. And also she married the man on the football team. Full circle. She made all the money. She girl bossed all the way to the sun. She became a loud vocal feminist. She bought all of the cats her heart could desire, dated all of the boys, and in the end, she made it right back to where she started. More importantly, even though for those decades she has been seen as the queen of relationship drama and breakups and situationships, she still saw marriage and a monogamous commitment as the end goal. And though I don't align with her politically or theologically in a lot of ways, this is a moment worth celebrating. Because as you saw earlier from the crazy corporate America women, she has such a heavy influence on young women. So hopefully, this will also encourage women to desire marriage and commitment, and to not be so fearful and defiant toward it, which has become the sentiment over the years. I've always heard people say that, if Taylor Swift ever gets married, there's going to be this marriage boom, and then if she ever has a baby, there's going to be a baby boom. And honestly, I partially find that to be a very accurate prediction of what could be ahead. I mean, already just in her getting engaged, she's setting an example for relationships. Just watch some of the takeaways that women are already having. One girl is talking about the long-term relationships, further proof that the man who you've been dating for 6 years who won't commit is not your husband. Because she was dating someone for 6 years and she wanted the marriage and he did not. She says she wasted her youth, and in a lot of ways she did. So this is just a reminder to young women and men to not wait in these relationships when your partner does not want to commit to you. Especially 6 years in, they're not going to change their mind. That's miraculous if that ever happens, but that's just typically not how that works. The Taylor Swift engagement is hitting so hard for us because it gives us all hope that we will someday get there. The girl who wrote all the songs we cry over boys to finally has her happily ever after, and so will we. Again, it's just like a moment of women not being angry. We love to see it. This girl who is not a Swiftie said, Taylor fans understand now.
I don't want money, just someone who wants my company.
I don't want money, I just want someone who wants my company. Like, it's such a good line, and also it's like, she found it, and all these girls are now sad because they're listening to music being like, I understand, Taylor. I'm convinced anyone who doesn't like Taylor Swift hasn't been heartbroken enough. Or we haven't, and we just like to sing it and pretend like we, which is more me. I'm like, oh, and I'm not. I'm fine. Everyone's pulling her lyrics into comments and being like, I'm going to find someday who might actually treat me well. Like, people are like, see, it can happen. It can happen for everyone. Suddenly not feeling so bad about being single at 28 because Taylor Swift found her forever at 35. Friendly reminder that other people's timelines aren't yours. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. I love that. And again, I think that's so important because she is in her mid-30s till she finally found someone. Even though, again, we've been watching her attempt to find someone for decades. There are so many lessons to be learned from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting engaged. One is you'll never be too much for the right person. That's a good line. 2, a man knows right away if he wants you and he will pursue you. 3, stop comparing yourself to others. Taylor has always wanted the love story. She's 35 and just now getting engaged. You're not behind, you're right on time. It gave hope to millions of jaded women. I also think the idea of settling down sometimes scares people in our modern age, especially given the fact that it almost feels like there is this limitless pool of options at our fingertips, even though those are not actually viable or attainable. But Taylor has those options, and she has the money and the fame, and she also has experienced a lot of heartbreak. and experienced divorce within her own family. So why does she, of all the feminist girl boss powerhouses, still see a value and a desire for marriage? After having anything she could possibly want, why does she still want a husband? Why is that the thing that she always says, I don't even need the money, I just want someone? Why? Because good husbands are an absolute light of a lifetime. They are priceless. They add more fulfillment to a woman's life than any worldly success ever could. And this is proof of that. All along, even with her growing success, her goal to find a life partner has always been as clear as day in her music. It's almost like men and women are designed to become one, not just biologically, but also spiritually. Now, to quickly change course, this is a harsh change, but it wouldn't be a comment section episode if I didn't also deep dive into some of the hilarious takes going on. I had to read this one take in particular because I remember this annoying me a couple years ago because people started to accuse or believe that Taylor was actually queer and that this whole straight persona that she puts on is just a facade. And they really believe they pull these things out of her music and see, these are Easter eggs. She's actually queer. That was a big thing online. I always remember seeing that and being like, really? Can't there just be one straight singer? She's just straight? Is that not okay? Because every other pop star at the time was going through the window of them not acting straight. So Taylor never did that. She was just even keel. And I was always annoyed that they were still no, she must as well. And this is an example of that. Post was, I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared watching how serious Travis and Taylor are becoming. Sometimes I wonder, what if they actually get married? What if she's really not queer at all? I feel like everything I believed about her could collapse overnight. If this is real and not some PR game, I honestly think I could end up in the hospital, or worse. I don't know if I'd ever be able to listen to her songs the same way again. Her happiness looks so different from what I imagined. She's truly content going to his family's events and showing up to TEU just for him. I don't know how to cope with the idea that maybe I never knew her at all. It's as if some individuals never listened to a single song of hers since the age of 12 when she started writing love poems about boys. Genuinely, they were believing that this was some PR skit all along. Sorry, suckers. No, she did actually get engaged to a man. Surprise, even though no one's surprised. Others, of course, were out there already rooting for her divorce, talking about, she ran out of breakup songs, now it's time for divorce song. Excited for Taylor Swift to graduate from breakup album to a divorce album. And a lot of people being I give it 2 years, blah, blah, blah. Again, very jaded with the idea of marriage, which given the track record of celebrities, I guess I'm not shocked, but I don't love this. This is not the energy that we need. For the sake of a generation of, frankly, men and women jaded with the idea of love, let's hope not. Instead, let's celebrate this as a win for culture, for commitment, and for normalcy. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. For other content, you can also follow me on Instagram and X, as well as our brand new comment section Instagram. I'll see you guys in the next episode.